Good evening, gamers! Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. I hope you're all doing well, and thanks so much for tuning into this live stream. Hello! How's it going? Welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Let me know who you are and where you're watching from. It doesn't look like my chat's working. This one hasn't updated just yet, but fingers crossed. I hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let us know what you've been up to. I've had such a busy weekend. I'm so tired today. I am absolutely awfully tired today. But it's because I've just had such a busy weekend. But you might have seen some exciting news. I'm so tired. If only I could get like a really nice pick-me-up, you know? I just need a little... That would be so good to pick me up. That would just like really sort me out, to be honest. Alas, I can't just yet. But you could, using !G Fuel in chat. Let's go! Shout out to G Fuel, now official sponsors of Hellstormwargaming. Look at that. You can use code Hellstorm at checkout on gfuel.com to get a discount. Now, there is a caveat to that, because currently, for the next day and a bit, there is a buy one, get one free. I said you buy one, get one free on all tubs in the store right now, which does mean my code currently won't work, okay? I know. Mikey gets a code and they instantly don't let it work. But if you do use my code at checkout, I will get a kickback, okay? But if you, at the minute, if you go to tubs, there's like a thing up here, there's this blue banner. Buy one, get one free. Okay, all of these tubs are buy one, get one free, which is pretty fun. So if you've been interested in G Fuel, you want a little pick-me-up, you drink energy drinks, but you want a sugar-free alternative that's also cheaper, so you can tune in and you can grab one. What's Scam Storm for? Oh, it's because the code doesn't technically work. But use the code because I get a kickback, and then when BOGO's not available in 2 days, you can use code Hellstorm to get 20% off everything in your basket, which is very cool. What does the G stand for? Wrong answers only. It stands for the same thing that G stands for in G-string, I've heard. That's what I've heard. Monday stream and promoting my caffeine addiction. Yes, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I'm excited. I've got some already on the way, and I'm actually just gonna use my link to get some from the BOGO. I'm gonna get some BOGO sent over. There's a couple of flavors that I really want. So I'm going to get some, and now G Fuel, outside of coffee until it arrives, G Fuel are now the official only drink sponsor for Hellstormwargaming. Let's fucking go. It stands for Goth Fuel, yeah. That's true. It stands for Dragon Ball G. You know what I mean? It stands for Hellstormwargaming Fuel. That's really good. That's pretty good, don't you think? It stands for Guns. Right, okay. So yeah, so now officially sponsored by G Fuel. It's very exciting. So you can use code G Fuel in chat, or !G Fuel. And then if you use code Hellstorm at checkout, I'll get a discount. I'll get a kickback, sorry. You'll get 20% off, which is pretty sick trade offer. Brennan! Thank you for the 5 gifted, dude. Holy shit. What a way to kick us off the stream, dude. What a fucking legend. The duck. The goated duck of chat. Thank you very much, Brendan. Thanks for the 5 gifted, man. It's really kind of you. At work, but finally catching you live. Here's my tie. Thank you. More people should do what you do. Become a member and give memberships and say hi when you come into the chat. Welcome. Thank you, man. Thank you. So let me know what you've been up to. What you've been up to. What I've been up to. I've been getting sponsored by G Fuel. Tell me another wargaming channel that has an official drink sponsor. Hey? Tell me another one. I will continue to have it while you support it, though. So I don't want to be the only one using code Hellstorm at checkout. So please make it worth it for G Fuel and support me at the same time, because I'll be able to get paid every time you buy something, which is pretty sick. And no extra cost to you. Actually, 20% off. My G's have been sweating off in this heat. Yeah, I really want some. I'm desperate for it. I'm just waiting for it to arrive. This is like the preview, the pre-sponsorships, preamble ramble sponsorship. I'm fucking desperate. I'm so excited to get them. I've not had some in ages. I'm so excited. I literally sent them a picture of me. I was like, should I tell you how it happened? I sent someone a message, all right? Because I ended up connecting with the marketing manager. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Do I still have the picture? Do I still have the picture? Here it is. I found the marketing manager. I sent them this picture. And then I said, this is from January 2023. Please sponsor me. They're like, this is from 2023. Please sponsor me now. And they're like, you know what? We'll give you a go. Mikey in a bathtub full of G Fuel promo picture when? Bro, if I had a bathtub, that's so good. That would be so good. But yeah, I literally said, look at this post 2 years ago, sponsor me. And they're like, yeah, go on then. You gaslit them into sponsoring. Yeah, I said people kept putting in code Hellstorm and it doesn't work. And they were like, that's because you're not sponsored. I said, can you fix that? Can you fix that, please? So shout out to G Fuel, !G Fuel in chat. Use code Hellstorm at checkout for 20% off. That's a fucking fat discount as well. 20% off. That's like £6 a tub outside of a normal BOGO. So, anyway, chat, does he tell everyone that I've gone live? I've gone live at everyone. Really big news. Plus, talking, drama, and Votan. There's my phone, I've got it. Votan, tune in. So yeah, chat, we've got quite a lot to talk, quite a few topics to go over today. It's not all about me just saying use code Hellstorm over and over again. Actually such a big weekend. Let me know what you guys have been up to. Let me know what you've been doing. Been playing any Warhammer? Been playing any other tabletop games maybe? Been doing some other shit? Let us know. Anything exciting in the old Warhammer-esque the multiverse? The multiverse of Wargaming. What you've been up to in it? In your little sacred timeline. I've been watching loads of Marvel videos today for some reason. In your sacred timeline, what have you seen? But for me, I played 2 events this weekend. One on Saturday, one on Sunday. Absolutely crazy. Crazy. Thanks to Hellstorm to support my G Fuel habit. You are so welcome, Billy. Enjoy the 20% off, dude. What about a foot bath full of G Fuel? Imagine. Imagine. Your little foot. I don't have a bath, so I'll get a foot bath. It'll just be me and my paddling pool with a tub of G Fuel. That'll be it. That's all I can do. I don't even have the paddling pool anymore. You know? I don't even have the paddling pool anymore.
Mikey!
Spoilers! 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 Lord Gateface, hashtag spoilers. Lord Gateface is referring to the latest and greatest Hellstormwargaming video that got dropped yesterday. The old RPG episode 2. RPG episode 2, as you can see, look at that. We burned the fortress down. So go and tune in if you haven't already. It's very exciting. We played 2 games now. We've got one more that's going to be dropping this weekend, hopefully, if I can get it edited in time. But the response has been really good. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see everyone really enjoying the RPG. I was very, very, very nervous about dropping it because I was a bit like, I don't do any of this. First one went down a treat. Second one's gone down pretty well. So if you haven't already, please go and have a look at the old RPG. It's really fun. A lot of people are enjoying it, so I'd really appreciate it. So that's what I was doing yesterday. So Saturday, I was absolutely rammed. Every time there's a smooth transition into French, I'm laughing. Dodgy's very fluent in Bretonian, clearly. Angron, how you doing, bud? Well done at the weekend. Well done at the weekend, dude. Angron was at the WTC. Great job, matey. Hope you had a good time. It was awesome, extremely stressful, but extremely fun. Well, I'm glad you had a great time, matey. Thanks for popping by. Make sure you have some well-deserved time off now. Well-deserved time off. WTC's over. Have some time. Have a relaxing time. At a Hellstorm Wargaming event, exclamation point shopping chat. Final promo before I start talking. Final promo. We do have an event at the end of the month. Warhammer 40k event. We've got space for 60 people. I think we've actually got 56 places total. We don't have that many left now, definitely. But you can go to an event at the end of this month. It'd be really cool to have you if you haven't already. The earlier you buy tickets, the better the event will be. Obviously, if everyone buys a ticket last minute, like normally happens, I can't plan for anything. So if you buy it earlier, the better it is for everyone, including you, because you'll forget that you bought it, and then you'll be like, holy shit, I've got an event, and I've already paid for it. So let me quickly catch up with chat. Let me quickly catch up. Angrod, thank you for the 22 months, dude. Really appreciate it. What a fucking boy. Thank you for the 22 months. We've still got some games to give away. So if this number says 15... No, we'll say if it says 10, because Brennan was really nice and gifted 5. This says 10 on screen, and we'll give some games away. All right, you got 10 minutes to keep it going. My G's have been sweating off in the heat. Next week, Valorant will get sponsored by... I would never talk about a disgusting brand like that. Did you see the cheaty shy at the LSO of the weekend? We'll talk about that in a little bit, yeah, but I did. Someone just so happened to have an additional dreadnought on the table all weekend. Very funny. Very, very funny. Browse some G Fuel to drink it while you browse for Warhammer pre-orders on the Outpost. Exclamation point Outpost in chat. Black Country, hello. How you doing? Dr. Donald, hello, matey. I couldn't play Hams because I'm sick. Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Finally play with my Star Wars orks. Found out that stompers are super fun, even if you're certain to lose. Stompers are always fun. They're just really hard to play with. They are detrimental to play with, annoyingly. You need one of those beer hats with G Fuel. I could do that. I could do that. Is there a Tacticus code as one of the game prizes? There sure is. There sure is a Tacticus code. I'm sure. There's Mechanicus. Oh, no, there isn't. I think I've run out of Tacticus codes. I lied. Sorry. Yeah, we've run out of Tacticus code. There's a code for Vermintide 2, Dark Tide, Total War Warhammer 3, combat cards, Mechanicus, and that's it. Savaged. Savaged. Absolutely nothing wrong with Death Guard. And I'm not sponsored by G Fuel anymore. That's what we're saying. I watched that and I still thought the super chat was related to Votan. Des, thanks for the £2, mate. Really appreciate it. Spend my weekend in kit bash and conversion hell. Oh. Well, hopefully you've sorted it. Death Guard fuel, nice. So I've had a really busy weekend. I've played 2 events this weekend. One of them I don't want to talk about, to be honest. But the other one... Chat. I went to my first event. Where's the picture? I've lost it. Yeah, where's the picture? Is it not loaded? Is it not? Let me quickly upload this picture. I did post it on Instagram, so you might have seen it already. I didn't go to PeachCon, no. I had no idea what PeachCon was. And I was like, well, I obviously had a rough idea what it was. I didn't know how to get tickets. So then I found out it was a day I was busy. Chat, look, it turns out, okay, we've got a few things to talk about. We've got to talk about my weekend, because it's interesting. I think there's some interesting points about it. We've got the state of 40k and how Games Workshop, quote, are basically ignoring it, quote, kind of, not really a quote, but, you know, I have evidence that they are actively just waiting it out. Rather than actively fixing it, they're just waiting it out. Just waiting for it to literally waiting for this shit to blow over. And then we'll talk about Votan. There wasn't any Codex Corner this weekend. I do apologize. There's like a couple of complications. One being Tom's had a baby. Congrats to Tom. Tom gave birth. Congratulations, Tom. But it just meant my regular host for Codex Corner wasn't available. I got the book really late. And so much so that I can tell you I had access to the Forge Fathers detachment, but I couldn't access the PDF because they didn't send me the password for it. So I have the rules for Hestad, a Forge Father, Forefathers Seekers detachment, whatever it's called. Can't read it because they only sent me a digital one, and they didn't give me the password for it, so I can't even open it. So yeah, everything's going fine over there, fucking clearly. Fucking clearly. And I didn't get any models, I didn't get a physical codex, they sent me a digital preview really late, and then when I went to try and open it, I didn't have the password for it. Great. They are fucking great. So shout out to Tom doing the hard work in the pregnancy. Congrats to him. And yeah, we're going to talk about what happened over the weekend first, initially. I'm just trying to get a picture to fucking work. I'm going to have to just go to my Instagram. No models, no nothing. No, they fucking screwed me over again. So yeah, at this point, lads, I don't even fucking know if I'm going to stay with him at this point. Fucking, I just keep getting screwed over it all the time. Anyway, chat, you might have seen I was a bit busy this weekend. I've been a busy boy. Very busy boy. It turns out the grass is greener on the other side. Look, I play a lot of Warhammer events. I play a lot of 40k events. Okay. But I've had a recent addiction, and there's actually a video being edited right now regarding that recent addiction. You might have seen on my Instagram I posted about that recent addiction, and that new addiction is Gundam the card game. Okay, everyone's talking about Gunpla and building models and how much cheaper they are than Warhammer, and then they brought out Warhammer models for Gundam. Basically, this is called the Tall Geese Gundam. It's called the Tall Geese, not the Tall Geese Gundam. My apologies, everyone in chat. They've brought out Warhammer-esque models for them. They're pretty nice. I'll have a quick look. Here you go. Look at this for a model. How cool's that? How cool's that? You know, some of you are like, well, I don't care about that. It's Gundam, it's not Warhammer. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Right, fine. Sure. Sure. I get that. I understand. However, I bought a bunch of starter decks for the trading card game because they came with models. And the reason they come with models is because next year they are making a game, a tabletop game called Gundam Assemble. All right? They're making Gundam Assemble. But in the card game, they've done like special starter decks where you can get the models early. Okay? Fine. You don't care about Gundam. All right? However, Gundam the card game is really fucking fun. And I think I have a small problem. I bought every single starter deck. Wait. As you can see here, I bought every single starter deck because each starter deck comes with 3 models. And I was like, you know what? I would like to paint the models. I have painted one for a video. It's a video coming out soon. And I was like, okay. And then I started talking to a couple of friends, Mr. Big C in chat, Mr. Decknell24. And I was like, yo, let's play this game. Let's play this game. Let's try it out. You know what I mean? Let's try it out. Let's see what it's about. And I'm addicted. And I went to my first card game tournament in like 15 years, if not more. I went to my first card game tournament. Can you fucking believe it? Like an absolute loser. And then I drew Big C in round 1. Big Shah fan, number 1, exactly. So and you know what? I had a fucking blast. I had an absolute fucking blast. It was really good, actually. It was really good. All right. Now, you don't care about the game. I'm not going to be like, okay, the game's so sick. All right. I'm not going to be like, whoa, you should play the game, chat, you know, because you shouldn't, because I'm actually really fucking sick at the game. I came 4th. I'm actually, look at him. Look at those cool promos I won. I'm actually quite good at the game, it turns out. But the reason I'm telling you about it, I'm not here to be like, play Gundam, it's so good. I think you should play Gundam. It is really good. And also, it turns out I'm really good at... Not really good. I'm addicted to gambling. And by gambling, I mean opening booster packs. Because I've bought 2 booster boxes in the past 2 weeks. However, the reason I wanted to bring it up is because it turns out that an organized company has a really good thing. It's called an app. Now, this is the website called Bandai TCG Plus, okay? And essentially, this is Bandai's version of Best Coast Pairings, all right? You know what I mean? It's like, the reason I want to show you this is because it's something that actually works. There was a message in my parasocial chat earlier, okay? There was a message in my parasocial chat earlier. You could become a parasocial member and see this message early, but I'll leak the message. But the message was essentially saying, is there like a localized calendar for tournaments of 40k? I want to play more tournaments. And the answer is fucking no. Because Best Coast Pairings is dog shit. It is slow, the search hardly works, and half of it is paid access. It's paid access, even though it's all user-generated info, half of it is paid access. Okay, now just for an example, this is just a website. I say it's Bandai TCG Plus, all right? And I don't play card games. I only very loosely play Magic. I've not played Magic properly. I haven't played an organized tournament since I was 17, all right? But this is for the Bandai card games, so all of these card games like One Piece and Gundam and Dragon Ball and all that, and Digimon and shit like that. But the point being is you can click my events, and one, it actually loads. And you can look at your old events, okay? And you can, like... This is, like, an event. One, look how quick all this loads, for a start. You can see rankings for the event. Look at that. There's your boy, came fourth. There's your boy. There's your boy. Having a great time. You can see how many points I got. You can see my win percentage and breakdown. It explains what win percentage is and what the breakdown is. Okay? And then you can see details of where I played. You can check all the match history. You can see who I played and who I won against and stuff like that. There's loads of like the capacity, just like normal stuff that BCP has. And also an event search. You know, you can search for all events. You can look event detail search. You can search what country, what location, certain organizers, event start date, which series they're a part of, how far away it is, and it actually works. And you know what else is good? You can sign up to the event. And you're like, Mikey, you can already do that with BCP. But guess what this does? It also does all the pairings as well. And it actually works. And it doesn't crash. And it doesn't cost any money. And this is official. It's not a third-party thing that someone's had to half buy, but not really buy. And it actually just functions at the point of use. You know? It's all free. And it works, because BCP, as we know, is the best of a bad bunch. But it's a bad bunch nonetheless. It's just an app that hardly works half the time. You can't control what team you're on and stuff like that, because none of it works. On BCP, I'm signed up to 17 different Hellstormwargamings, and I only have access to one. And all this is just part of the game. This is an official app with official memberships and stuff like that. And it just functions properly. It just functions as if it sounds daft to say. It just functions properly. You know, it's not. I think this has. If I just search this, will it dox me? You know, I could just search like Sheffield, the city I live in, and it'll show me all the events that are nearby. You know, okay, there's not a lot, so let's extend the reach. Within 50 kilometers, you know, I'm doxing within 50 kilometers of myself. All right, there's only one. Well, there's only one fucking thing here. What did I do last? I did Yorkshire. Did I do South Yorkshire? No, I did that, I think. There we go. Yeah, so I can like search in my province. I can do it properly, not just search for the location. And it'll show me all the events within 50 kilometers, and it'll let me sign up for them automatically, and it'll link my account to them automatically so the TA can actually see it. Imagine BCP being this fucking quick when you search and it actually fucking working. What a concept. What a concept. I thought you were here to bash Death Guard, not BCP. Welcome to a live stream. I don't focus on one thing for 4 hours. It's a live stream. Get involved. Imagine a working website 2025, truly the future. We've been trying to get this internet thing for going for 40 years and someone has now cracked it. Yeah, it's just like, I just couldn't believe how this works for free. And it like, you can see everything for free and it just functions properly and it doesn't stall. I was trying to go on an event I was playing. Okay, I would open Best Coast Pairings. I would go play, I'll go my events, and all of this sounds straightforward enough. One, it shows me all the events I'm running for some reason, even though they're not the events I'm playing. And then I go to the fucking thing, and I go to the tournament that I finished yesterday, and it says there are no pairings, you know. And now you're gonna be like, well, Mikey, that's because you have already finished the tournament. But it's like, this is what it did to me all day. Every time I went on the app, it would just say there's no pairings, even though I was midway through a game. Even though I was trying to check in, I was trying to put my score in, every time it would say there's no pairings, so I had to like log out, log back in, and get it to work. It's just like, how can we have a card game do better than us? What's going on? Us real Warhammer players, you know? However, I was just like, oh my god, this website just actually works. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh my god, this actually just fucking works. What the fuck is going on? Actually wild. So anyway, so I went to my first card game event. I had a great time. The app just worked. It's the event search works. You can actually just like, you can like put your decks in there, and then they're all public. It's all free if you want to, and it just functions really well. And you can like do all the scoring in it and stuff like that. It's just like, what? Why are we always starved for actual quality? Why do fucking 40k players? Why do I feel like we're just the piggies that eat from the trough? You know what I mean? We're just the piggies that eat from the trough and we're happy with it, when everyone else just has it so much better. Every other game has it so much better. You know? Also, real promos. Actually be able to win promos because I won a tournament, rather than just being like, well, the tournament organizer from GW will get nothing if they're lucky. What app is this? This is Bandai TCG Plus. It's the pairings and event app used by Bandai for card games. So anyway, I went to a card game event this weekend. I came fourth. It was really fun. I won some cool promos. They're cool cards. But it was just like, I am addicted to this game. But the point was, I was just blown away that this app is fucking free for a start. Most 40k players do eat like pigs, though. I know I do. Yeah, it's just like, fucking sort the shit out. It's just dog shit. Absolutely dog shit. So yeah, that's what I did on Saturday. And then I went home and edited the RPG until 3 in the morning. And I'm still struggling today. I won't lie. I'm still struggling today. And then Sunday, because Detnal's here, nothing happened. Nah, I'm joking. On Sunday, I played my first Age of Sigmar tournament with the new handbook. So the new handbook came out in June. So I played my first tournament of it. I'd not actually played Age of Sigmar since I played against Kirioth on the channel when I first got the studio back in March. So I've not, and then before that it was like October. So I've not played Age of Sigmar a lot recently. Purely because, just like 40k, Age of Sigmar is a bit of a treadmill, you know? If you're on the treadmill, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It's great. But if you're off the treadmill, it's very hard to get back into. Welcome to have support for the developers of the game. Yeah, literally. Literally. Yeah, so like Warhammer, both games are always like a treadmill. If you're not on it, you're off it. It's a bitch. But if you're on it, you're like, oh, this is alright. I'm just going to keep walking. I'm going to keep a little jog here and there. Little fast walk. You know, this is alright. And then you get off the treadmill and you're like, holy shit, that's going fast. How do I get on there? And then you're like, well, I'll wait until they restart it, the new edition, you know? But I went to an Age of Sigmar tournament to try it out. To try out the new handbook. It was a pretty chill event. Daniel asked me to come along. I did win. I did come first. There weren't that many people there. Okay. So it's not like a humble brag, but here is me and Decknull. There you go. Decknull face reveal. So Decknull's going to be running a bunch of events at Home Fair for Age of Sigmar, so you'd like to go and play, go and have fun. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is I think that Age of Sigmar has a huge problem, and I think it's stale. I think it's really... Now, this is no slight on my opponents, no slight on the armies or anything like that. It's stale, dude. It's... The problem with it is, like, the new handbook comes with a bunch of new missions, and I don't think the missions are a problem, you know? Well, like, half the missions aren't a problem, you know? I took Ossiarch Bone Reapers, for people asking what army I took. I took Ossiarch Bone Reapers. I actually took the same list I've been running, like, forever. It was literally the same list I played on the channel. It's the same list I was running in November and October and whenever. But it was, like, a slightly different detachment. It was using, like, the, essentially, Grotmus detachment. Which was a lot better than what I was running before. And then it had an extra unit, an extra reinforced unit of Mortek Guard. So I used to have 30 Mortek Guard, I had 20 Mortek Guard, and 20 Mortek Guard, rather than 20 and 10. But essentially, it was like Leeds Cavallos with some Death Riders. It was Arkan the Black. It was 40 Mortek Guard. It was a unit of Immortis Guard, a walking Soul Mason character, some Morghast, and then manifestations, you know? So, look, I think Age of Sigmar has wonderful models, you know? I think Age of Sigmar has wonderful models. I think Age of Sigmar has... the armies are really fun. I think the army plays really fun. I think some of the army rules can be a bit nuts, which is kind of fun. It's a bit wild. It's like, yeah, this guy could just, like... If I roll really well, I could do 60 more wounds or something stupid. When I cast Curse of Years with Arkan the Black, and I have to roll 10 dice, and every 6 I do a mortal wound. And then for every 6 I roll a dice, and on 5 you take a mortal wound, and every 5 I roll, you roll a dice every 4. Crazy, really fun. I think the missions are bland, though. So, like half the missions look like this, right? Oops, wrong one. You know, all of this writing, okay? And all of this is like the underdog mechanic, essentially. All of this is the underdog mechanic, which is fine. The main thing is in each battle round, if you hold the null route objective, you score some points. And then in the 2 and 4, you hold it for the red ones, okay? So it's essentially only certain objectives are active in each turn. That is actually fine, you know? If you are the underdog, if you essentially get double turned, etc., you can heal some units and give yourself wards while holding certain objectives, you know? But they're a bit like, whatever. I think the main problem, which you might not even realise is a thing in Age of Sigmar if you don't play it, is the battle tactics. Now, previously, in the last General's Handbook, and the handbook before that, and the handbook before that, is essentially you had a list of battle tactics. Sometimes you had faction-specific ones, like in the previous handbook just before June, there was like overarching detachment faction ones, like Death had 2, Chaos had 2, for example. But essentially, most people were playing with like 6, and then that was what they had. And way battle tactics worked previously in a Sigmar is at the start of your turn you would choose a battle tactic, and then you would try and achieve it and get some points. Straightforward enough. Now, after you're playing loads and loads of games, and you built your army, you played a bunch of tournaments, you kind of know the order that you're going to choose a battle tactic. You're probably going to go, like, take the short board edges or whatever, you know, depending what it is. There's, like, seize the center. There's area denial equivalent, you know. Grab a piece of terrain in your opponent's deployment zone. Be on the corner of the board. Kill a unit this turn. Use 2 units to charge onto the same objective and hurt a unit, whatever. You know? They're all pretty basic, the things you want to do in Age of Sigmar anyway. But they're pretty much like once you've played it a good 20 times, you kind of go, okay, this turn I'm going to do this turn I'm going to do this turn I'm going to do this. And that's a bit of a shame. Now, the new way that battle tactics work is initially sounds quite cool, but as soon as you play it a couple of times, you realise it's even worse than it was before in terms of, like, numbness, you know? So the way these ones work, for example, you have master the paths, all right? So you have 3 different boxes that you're trying to complete. You're trying to affray, strike, and then domination. And essentially, each turn, you're going to check which one you've scored, and then you have to do the next one. So, for example, this says affray, cut off the head. You complete this battle tactic at the end of your turn if any enemy unit, any hero has been destroyed this battle, okay? You'll score 5 points. Straightforward enough. Once you've scored that, you can't score that again. You'll move on to strike, and you'll have to do seize the paths, okay? And then you've got to have more friendly units in neutral territory than your opponent, okay? Than enemy units. And that'll score you 5 points. So you don't keep scoring the same thing each turn. You will go through the motion. You'll go through the 3, you know? And every battle tactic has this, like aversion. They all have 3, and each one's worth 5 points, you know? I was running Master of the Pass and Scouting Force. You complete battle tactic, throw more friendly units wholly outside friendly territory, for example. And then it's like, control some terrain features and objectives, and then whatever. Now, on the face of it, they seem quite fun. Okay, I think they are quite fun. However, the big thing with this General's Handbook compared to the previous one is that you actually choose these at your list submission step. So what you would do is you'll build an army around doing this, you know. Now, that doesn't sound so bad, but imagine you play a tournament that's 3 or 5 or 6 or 9 rounds, you know. And I already said that after so many games in Age of Sigmar, you found that the battle tactics were a bit repetitive because you kind of knew in your head the game plan, you know. Now, it would change permission. It would change permission that if, like, oh, you've got a slightly different deployment, maybe you don't go for a single battle tactic. Maybe your opponent's a bit closer, you won't go for this type of battle tactic. However, because you are choosing these at the beginning of the game, or essentially, if you're playing the tournament, at the beginning of the tournament, you are forced to build your list completely around these battle tactics. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. However, it felt like I had 3 great games, 3 great opponents, obviously, but it felt like I was just doing the same thing every time. Because the missions are fairly bland, like the actual, like, the objective things. A lot of the time, if you're not the underdog, it is just stand on objectives and score points. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, you'll do a cycle. You'll stand on the certain one. If you get some points, you'll get some points to stand on the second one. Stand on these. If you stand on certain one, you get different points, you know? Stand on objectives, score some points. Stand on objectives, score some points. It's all the same. And then the battle tactics are chosen at list submission step. And it's like, it's a bit like, oh, okay, I'm doing the same thing every game. Because all of essentially each mission is just different objective placement, it felt like, you know? Don't get me wrong, I've only played 1 tournament. This is just my initial thoughts. But I feel like it got, like, the last game, I was playing Big C, having a great time. But I was just like, oh, I'm just doing this. I realised at that point, I was like, this mission's ever so slightly different. But I'm just standing on circles and then killing a hero, then moving my models into the middle of the board and scoring points. And I think I scored no less than 70 points per game in every game. Let me have a look. Yeah, I scored 75, then I scored 70, then I scored 88 in the last game. You know, I don't know what the maximum, I presume the maximum is 100. But it's just like, oh, in this mission, the objectives are there, and then I run into the board, in the middle of the board, and I do the same thing I've been doing all day. And I was just like, I was absolutely like, oh my god, this is actually, personally, in my opinion, this is pretty poo. This is pretty shit, actually. It was just a bit like, my models are doing cool things, because I don't think I think the armies are really fun. I think the armies do always do, some of the models do some nut stuff, don't get me wrong, you know, but it's like, okay, well, your unit does that, I'll just kill it, or whatever. That's kind of like how games work. But it was just like, it was literally stand on circles and then choose a battle tactic and do that as well. And a lot of it at the time was like, stand on circles, not in your home, in your deployment zone. And most games you don't do that. Now, I know Decknell said, like, being locked in for a whole event is a bit, oh shit, I picked the wrong ones. Yeah, because if you pick badly, you will get screwed. You won't get screwed for a game. You'll get screwed for an entire tournament, you know? This is like playing 40k, right? Or it could be. This could be like playing 40k and saying, I'm going to play Assassinate and bring it down every game. And all you do is play against orc boys. All you do is play against orc boys sometimes, you know what I mean? But it just felt really... It felt like it got stale. I'd played 3 games. Don't get me wrong, I was a bit tired, a bit sleepy boy. I had a long weekend, you know? But I was just a bit like, I'm so glad I have to play 2 more games because I've kind of done it, you know? I've done the thing now. And it's like Age of Sigmar, let's be honest, let's not be fucking beat around the bush, has been on a downward trend in terms of popularity, you know? It's definitely on a downward trend. And it has been for a little while. I think since 4th edition came out, I personally think 4th edition as a game system is great. I don't mind the profiles being like 3s to hit, 4s to wound against everything. I don't care. I don't mind that. I think that's fine. I think the units function really well. I think the game itself functions really well, and it's very clear a lot of the time what things are going. But it's like the missions are boring. The missions are boring, dude. I also don't like the forced icons on objectives, but I can look past that. But it's just boring. Now, my opponents were great, and I had a great time with them, but it was just like, I turn up, there are objectives in the middle of the board, and I'm doing the same thing every game. It is like the end of 9th edition 40k, where you could choose your own secondaries, and you played against Necrons, and it's like, oh, they're going to stand in the middle all game and score 100 points. It's very that. It's very much that. And I was just like, I've only played 3 of the missions. I've only had 3 games of the new handbook. I didn't find it exciting. And I think that might be... I don't think that is like a... I don't think that is like a hot take either. I think that is a pretty lukewarm take. But I think the game system is fine. I think the handbook is bad. And I think the thing is with it is when the large amount of your game relies on playing these types of missions, then having a bad handbook and bad missions is a game killer. Because what else are we supposed to do? Make up our missions? That's not going to happen in a tournament. They're going to keep playing the handbook. And it was boring. Did you use any of the season data sheets? I didn't. I know my opponents did. I didn't personally use the season data sheet. I looked at the Mortec Guard one, saw it was worse than the basic one, and then just forgot about it. So it's a real shame because I think Sigmar, Age of Sigmar has the potential, was a good game. I think 4th edition was good. I think the missions, it was a shame that they reprinted all the missions from last edition, but I can get over it. And then the new handbooks come out, I finally played it, and I was just like, yeah. Ugh. It's just, okay, I get to do this. If I play 2 tournaments back to back, right, let's play it. Even if I play the same list, there's no variation in mission. It's not very, I think the issue is it's not very dynamic, you know? Once you've gone, yeah, I'm going to choose these battle tactics, that's it. You're locked in. And the battle tactics I was running, except for kill a hero, I had to kill 1 hero from my opponent. I got to kill 1 single hero, and then that's it. I could just ignore my opponent after that, you know? It's, I was just a bit like, oh, okay, cool. Cool. Why is this the thing? Why is nothing else happening? You know, if I look at the 2 I was, and maybe it was because of the 2 I chose, but like, I was just choosing the ones that I knew I could probably score. Look, Scouting Force. Score 5 points if 3 or more friendly scout units holding outside friendly territories. So scout is like non-hero infantry or cavalry, right? And then complete battle tactics. 3 or more objectives or terrain features that you control in any combination are being contested by friendly scout units. All right. And then you complete battle tactics at the end of your turn. If a friendly scout unit was not set this turn, contested a terrain feature that you control is wholly within enemy territory that's more than 6 away from friendly territory. So just deep strike onto their terrain piece. You know, it's like I do not interact with my opponent one bit. I just hold up, I just move out of my deployment zone, and then I go stand next to terrain for the rest of the game, you know? And then Master the Paths was the other one, which is a little bit more dynamic, don't get me wrong. kill a hero, and then have 3 or more head-friendly units in neutral territory than enemy, or more friendly units in neutral territory than your enemy. So I don't interact with my opponent, and then I'd be in 3 corners of the board. I don't interact with my opponent again. You know, like, yeah, 40k's mission deck, chapter approved compared to Pariah Nexus is very similar, but I don't think a lot of those cards are necessarily bad. It's like moving to different positions at a random point in the game because you're drawing from a random deck, you know? The deck overall is pretty good. I would say it's pretty good, you know? It's a bit more of the same. It's a bit more that we've been, you know, you've had an order at McDonald's. You've been having the same order ever since. You order a value meal Big Mac with a Diet Coke or whatever. You get that every time. But it's just like, at least in 40k, if you draw in tactical cards, that feels dynamic, because whilst you're randomly doing shit, and sometimes it doesn't make sense, obviously, behind enemy line turn 1, get in the fucking bin. But like, you're randomly doing stuff which keeps the game dynamic. It keeps forcing you to do things you don't normally want to do. You know? I don't want to run to the middle of the board the first turn because I'm going to get charged by an opponent, but I'm going to be rewarded for 5 points, you know? So that was what, in my opinion, keeps it dynamic. Whereas if you already have your game plan set up turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, kill a hero and then ignore your opponent for the rest of the game. Oh, they charge onto objective, I'll kill them then. It felt weird. It felt, yeah, it just felt bland. It felt really, really bland. So, yeah, very, very strange. Bland game. But like I said, like with 40k Pariah Nexus to chapter approved, like this, there wasn't much of a change. Actually, it made the missions worse, and I was quite vocal about the fact that they got rid of twists from the deck. But at least the secondaries are quite fun. I would say the secondaries are quite fun. And the changes to the primary missions were decent. But the primary missions in this felt like, oh, sometimes this one's worth more than the other. Okay, well, I'm still on 3 of them. Fine, I'll just stand here for the rest of the game. I'm not going to force myself to go and grab another one. There's no point. Because the next 10 I score more points for this one. And then it's like, well, all of my secondaries, I just don't interact with my opponent, you know? They're still there, but just not for tournaments. Yeah, well, I think getting rid of them for tournaments is cringe. Because they're not twists anymore, or whatever they were called, mission rules. They are open play twists. So I love AOS, Skaven, but yeah, after 3 games I feel like I've seen / done everything in the General's Handbook. This was a worry for Spearhead too. Yeah, that when Spearhead came out and they waited a whole year to release an update. Also didn't send me anything, even though I ran the biggest Spearhead thing on the platform. Got 80,000 views on my Spearhead review video, and they still won't fucking send me shit, and no one else is covering that game. But like, they left that for years, so no one cares anymore. They brought out what, a new board and like 2 fences, and they want to charge 60 quid for it or whatever. Ugh. Why don't you use a few twists at the GT? Because it's hard enough getting people through the door anyway. If you start throwing things in, people just aren't interested anymore, sadly. If it's not Games Workshop told you to play this, people don't care. It's really, really disheartening, to be honest. So yeah, so I think that's the problem with Sigmar. I think it gets very bland very quickly, and it's a real shame. It's a real shame. Gino have been trying to get more tournaments going. I was offered 2 army boxes for prize support if I ran a tournament. Offered it to my local and still couldn't get the numbers. Yeah, I had the same, but I just didn't bother trying. I didn't even bother trying. I've tried to run events in the past and just haven't had the numbers through. And this new handbook, I think it just killed it. Martin, thank you for the gifted, dude. Really appreciate it. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much. What a fucking legend. Yeah, so Games Workshop are actually just like supporting local TOs by giving out like loads of Age of Sigmar products to run in at a GT. But like, But the missions are shit. Listen to that. It's not giving away products. Listen to what people are saying. The missions are really shit. And it turns out they've been shit for quite a while. I just didn't notice. You know? Turns out a lot of people have been saying that, and they just don't listen. So... I really enjoy AOS. Having only played 4th properly, but the slip up with the early battle tomes nearly put me off. I need to play more of the new missions, but I can see your point. Yeah, it's obviously no slat on you, matey. I just think, yeah, the missions were just like, the battle tactics were bland. Awesome models, boring game, AOS consensus. Yeah, awesome models, awesome rules for models, boring game. Yeah. Anyway, that's my moan about Sigmar, but thanks to Deck for running the event. I did come first. Look at me, there I am with my little trophy, my little certificate, looking snatched. Look at me go, there I am. Good tournament, good fun, had a good time. It's no slight on the organizer, no slight on the players or anything like that, because I had a great time with all the players and stuff like that. It was good fun. The problem was, it was just a bad mission pack. Just bad. Show off the trophy. It's still in a cardboard. I've just showed the picture. It's a very nice trophy, though. It's a very nice trophy. Look, he wants me to show off the trophy. Chat, look. And got some stars. There we go. So anyway, shout out to Deck with the old egg, the dragon egg realm war. Still don't know what it's supposed to look like, but appreciate the effort. Shout out to Deck, dude. So yeah, good fun, really. Is that going next to your Hero of the Soviet Union trophy? What? It's a realm. Deck, it is a jacket potato at best. Deck, it is a jacket potato. I'll just go on an app that hardly works now. Chat, what is this? Describe it to me. Well, describe it. Is this a jacket potato, but where instead of baked beans, the beans have been picked out, so there's just sauce left? Remember? A moldy potato. It's the logo for the best AOS event in the North. Homemade pizza if you ran out of cheese. Yeah! Yeah! It's a homemade Chicago pizza. It's like cheese is under the sauce. It's a globe being opened up by lava. Decker's told me it's a realm. I still don't see it. I can see there's islands. What's the brown bit then? If that's the island, what's the brown bit? It's the realm of jacket potatoes, I see. It does look like a jacket potato. With a bit of herb on. Baked beans with no beans. Just the baked. Just the baked bit. The brown bit is Huddersfield. Nice. Nice, okay. Love him. Still don't see it, lad. Still don't see it. I've tried commissioning him, but he's too busy getting Gundam packs. True. True. All right. All right, the next part. The thumbnail mention. Let me just pull it up so I got it ready. Oh, it's fucking reloaded. What the fuck? So, here we go. Discuss the Resilient Podcast. You've tuned in at just the right time. I'm about to start. I'm about to start, dude. Week 7, begging GW to nerf my army. I'm not having fun. It's dumb, and they're just acting like it's not an issue. Knowing I can play like a idiot and win, most of my games is stupid. Fix balance, please. That is where we're at. That is definitely where we're at right now. Okay. You might be aware of a little codex. Maybe in the thumbnail you've noticed. A little thing called Death Guard. You might have seen it. Okay. And we've been monitoring the stats for quite a while. To a point where I'm running an event in a few weeks. And I'm really stuck to what to do, you know? I'm really stuck in knowing what to do for the best. Because if we go over to Meta Monday. Now, the reason I've not talked about Death, I've talked about Knights in particular, is just because the stats are way more inconsistent. But this week, it's hard to look past a little bit. You know, it's a little hard to look past, really. When armies are getting like upwards of 60% win rate all the time. So Imperial Knights and Death Guard, but mostly Death Guard especially, are 100% a huge problem right now, you know? The Lone Star Open, the biggest singles event this weekend, not using... Well, I suppose they were using it, but this biggest singles event this weekend, double Death Guard Hammer of Mortarion, or whatever it's called, both at 6-0, you know? Both at 6-0. At the WTC War Masters, we had Death Guard go 8-0. Then in this one, 150 players, Death Guard Champions Contagion, both came 3rd and 4th. All of these players, undefeated. It is quite a large problem, and it has been for a few weeks, and we spoke about it a few times. Now, the other problem is Imperial Knights, don't get me wrong. The other problem is Imperial Knights. And yes, the player at Lone Star Open was running 130 points extra because they were running an additional Hellbrew in their list all game. And then decided to drop at the end.
Mikey! Super chat £5. Would you say you're sick of Death Guard?
You know what, mate? You're so right to say that. I would say I'm sick of Death Guard. They are obviously a problem. They are obviously a problem, you know? 20 players going X and 1 or better. 19 Imperial Knight players going X and 1. Now, when we're trying to fix Imperial Knights, have we got access to that Hellbrew players post? If you've got access, let me know. With Imperial Knights, I think I know how we can have an easy fix that doesn't affect every single person playing Imperial Knights. It only affects the top few that want to go and win the event. Which is obviously my idea of banning or making Knights rule of one, the big ones. But Death Guard, much more difficult to deal with. Because it's not a single thing that's making them extremely good. It's a multitude of things all stacked on top of each other. And as a lowly TO, as a single TO trying to sort things, you know, and trying to make a nice event for my players. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 5, guys. Really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. With Death Guard, they have so much stuff to deal with. As a TO, I feel like I'm overreaching when I'm starting to think of ways to neutralize them. Or just make them slightly worse, so the opponent will have a decent game into them, even if they lose. You know? Why do you think no other TOs are banning Imperial Knights or Death Guard? I think no other TO is banning Imperial Knights or Death Guard is because that people are expecting communication from Games Workshop that we've previously had in the past when we spoke about banning factions. You know? When we've spoken about banning factions in the past, Games Workshop have been on it. We talk about banning Imperial Knights. Well, no one wants. What's the point? Games Workshop will nerf them before that, you know. And it's just a problem. It's a sentiment that is felt around the world. Now I'm going to read some messages, or I'm going to quote some messages, or like paraphrase some messages that I've seen regarding this. But it's like, what's happening? With Imperial Knights and Death Guard, they're overpowered more than more and longer than times in the 9th edition of certain releases. We've got GTs and events coming up, and nothing's been done, and we're seeing that active decline in player numbers, you know, and that is like felt around the world. We've noticed a similar drop off in our area, and it's all due to this. Probably like really killed the momentum and the hype that they were getting for their events. You know, we're seeing a similar drop off. Maybe challenger cards are also a problem. That's a kind of like conversation for another day. And there's lots of people basically saying, we know there's a slate coming in September, but this is too much and we're just actively losing out. We've got people that are just not turning up, you know. I followed groups and teams who traditionally sign up to my events. We had over 100 players this time last year, and nothing compared to that now when we signed for sign-ups. I play Knights, but I really need them to be nerfed because it's ridiculous. I just don't know how to nerf them myself. And this is all on a single post, you know. And the general sentiment is, the general sentiment from the people on this thing is like, yo, we don't like where the game is. We really want you to do something. We want you to act fast because this is having a negative effect on events around the world. And people are like, people are actively saying, hey, I am actually just selling less tickets because the game's shit right now. That's essentially paraphrasing everybody there. The army faction balance is so wank. I can't think of a better word. It's so wank right now. For like Death Guard and Imperial Knights and a little bit of Chaos Knights being absolutely ridiculous. And then every other army is kind of playing a different game. They're playing 10th edition. It feels like Death Guard and Knights are playing 11th edition. It's just like, how can they sit on their hands and wait it out, you know? Now, mate, Death Guard with a Knight is super fine. You know? And it's like, there's people that are like, well, you know, we'll just wait for the balanced data slate. And it's like, the balanced data slate might not be for 2 months. Might not be till the end of September for all we know. It might even be October, you know. There's Discuss Resilience say that they're going to leave it so long and nuke them to the ground so they're not playable anymore, which is also fucking annoying. That's also the complete opposite of what we want. We don't want an army to be nerfed to the ground where it's not playable anymore. We want an army to be fair. Just want an army to be fair, lads. That's all we're asking, really. That's really all we're asking is armies to be fair. And then like people like ban certain detachments with Death Guard, and I just don't think that works at all. It just doesn't work at all. If you go ban Lords of Virulent Vectorum and Hammer of Mortarion, but you still got Champions of Contagion, we're going to ban that one as well. You know? Are we're gonna leave them with Taliban summoners? And be like, yeah, play that, you cunts. You know? But there is a general sentiment of like, hi, Games Workshop, please do something. Will you please do something? And the general sentiment, and I am not quoting anyone here, the general reply is, we hear you. We hear you, and we are routinely in conversation with the events, the rules team. That is the response. That is the response. We hear you. We're sorry. Get Mikey on the rules team. I'd do a fucking number. Chat, do you know next time you've got a problem with Death Guard and someone said, God, Death Guard is so strong, just say, Games Workshop hear you. Because that will help. We're sorry. We hear you. We know. Where there's communication. No. Sort the fucking shit out. And you know what it is. You know what the problem is. You're all very aware of what's happened. You're all really aware of one army. But what's going on with Death Guard? You know? What's going on? I'm not quoting anyone when I say this, but all I'll say is a message that I thought I saw, that I imagined in my head, was, yeah, we hear you. Don't worry, you'll get some nice stuff soon, though. I don't want nice stuff. I want the game to be balanced, bro. I want the game to be balanced. Shut up. I just, that comment just made me, that comment that I made up in my head made me so mad. You know? That comment in my head made me so mad. The one I randomly thought of in my head. So I don't know. I think people have just got to come up and say Death Guard aren't allowed anymore, really. That is like kind of where we're at the minute. Death Guard Imperial Knights aren't allowed because that's the easiest way to deal with it. I know someone in chat earlier, someone I like and respect, said, well, it's okay because Black Templars are like a hard counter. And it's like, not every fucker is running Black Templars. Yeah, this one army is really good into Death Guard. Great. Cool. All right, what about everyone else who's at the event? All fucking 50, 60, 100 people who aren't playing Death Guard. Are they? I don't think that's right. But if you're gonna say it, is that the takeaway? Is it like, oh yeah, Death Guard are fine because a new army came out? I'm sorry, no. That's not how it should work. Or it should work at all. It should never work like that. If that is the case, if that is true, I don't even know. Oh, I'm so mad, chat. So yeah, I don't know why people aren't a bit more angry. I've heard there's some rumblings of people thinking about Imperial Knights. Death Guard is an issue. Death Guard is definitely an issue for sure. But it's a bit like, I don't personally know how to fix it. The only thing that I could suggest right now, me personally, if I was going to announce anything tomorrow, let's say, for tournaments, for like Hellstorm events this month, I'd say big Imperial Knights have rule of 1, or big Knights have rule of 1, and Death Guard has rule of 2 army-wide. That'll be the only thing I can do. Or, I'd even just fucking say Death Shroud are limited to 1, and Bloat Drones are max 3 total. Don't matter what you take. Only 0.5% of the population is immune to this new deadly disease. I bought into Death Guard before the codex came out, and I didn't want to be that guy playing them. No, I think as a Death Guard player, as someone who mains them, you just feel like a twat, you know. And then you're the bad guy for playing the army that you've played forever. Because why? Because Games Workshop made the rules broken. Are you supposed to handicap yourself with a list? In a tournament, no, not really. You bring the same thing, but it is bollocks. It is bollocks, you know. Death Guard made up 10% of the meta this weekend, and 20 people went X and out. A third of the players, was it? Oh no, ignore me. No, that's games played. Players. 120 players, so a sixth of the people won an event. You know, 60 people, a sixth of the people won or went basically undefeated at an event. I get called a meta chaser. Well, you are a meta chaser, to be fair. You changed your channel name and rebranded when they came out. Everyone just blowing dust off their 8th edition starter box models. Yeah, I just... The sentiment of, oh, we hear you, just fucked me off. No, you should be actively fixing it. It should have been actively fixed a month ago. The best time to fix it was 2 months ago. The second best time to fix it is now. You know? You leave my white scars passed out of this. I think the amount of people playing Death Guard at nights is probably why people aren't banning them. God, you're so right. Look at the player numbers. 66 Gene Stealers, 86 Space Wolves, 28 Grey Knights, 87 Chaos Demons. I mean, 150. There's more Blood Angels players than Death Guard. No, I'm looking at the wrong column again. He's moved the columns again. Fucking hell. Sorry, there we go. Try again. 24 Gene Stealers, 31 Space Wolves, 11 Grey Knights, 30 Chaos Demons, 50 Blood Angels, 30 CSM, 50,000 Suns, 120 Death Guard. Um, 57 Space Marines, the starter box faction. Has only got 57. What was Knights? 73, so probably the second highest. Just got to Black Templars hard counter comment. I'm running Black Templars. I'll deal with it for you. You can single-handedly play every Death Guard player at my event if you want. Even if you lose and they win. So it's just silly. It's just absolutely silly at this point. And yeah, I think tomorrow I think that's what I'll be announcing, you know. Rule of 1 on Big Knights, rule of 2 on Death Guard. Maybe I'll make troops 3, you know, because it's just ridiculous. It's just 3 bloat drones, 3 mind-fitted blight haulers, 3 death shroud, and then 3 Lord of Contagion, then whatever the fuck else you want. Who cares? You'll win. You know? Don't worry, we hear you as a response to a legitimate concern never comes back to bite you. Will there be a date slate before All-Stars? No. No. Also change the timing on Morty's hammer to shooting phase. Stops then just going her. Auto contagion death shroud appear. Let me have a look. The style bar around send number of enemy units more than 12 away. Those enemy units are afflicted. Yeah, so you can just go, you are afflicted, so I'm deep striking 6 away. Ooh. We hear you, Google it. Oh, it's like counselling. Yikes. Ooh. Super strong if you go first and fairly strong if you go second. Yeah, the fact that you can choose and then just deep strike on them straight away is pretty nuts. Not to sound like a broken record, but less of an issue if we had force organization back. Not really. Not really. Because you buy 3 units of... Let's say we had all force organization. You take 2 HQs, 2 load of contagions. Take another one, 3 load of contagions. Take 2 troops, 2 units of flayed marines. Take 3 elites. Cool. 6 elites usually. 3 Terminator units. 3 bloat drone units. 3 heavy support. 3 tanks. It's the same. I remember when they took 6-inch deep strike away from everyone, then just gave it to Death Guard with charge on a busted unit. Yeah. Can modern lists even fit into old force organization charts? I think the point was, no, they can't. We should bring back force organization, but I think, yeah, they can mostly. If you think about like the most modern ones. If you say bring attacks of 2 troop choices, most people bringing that anyway. A lot of lists are bringing that. My list don't, because I play Space Marines. You can't afford it, but a lot of lists have that. Let me just catch up with chat. Please don't nerf Sisters of Battle again. Sisters don't need a nerf. They're fine. Hardly anyone plays them. Would best of 2 even stop Death Guard? Other than bloat drones, they usually take 2s now. Nothing will stop Death Guard without an outright ban, mate. Nothing will stop Death Guard without an outright ban. You know? That's the point. That's the point. How do you control them? I don't want to take them out of the game. You got to remember, is when I'm like going, oh, well, maybe we'll do this at my event. It's not to be like, yo, Death Guard are unplayable, no one's playing Death Guard. It's to make them less obnoxious. That's the point, you know? You know, it's to try and make them less obnoxious. Not bad. Not, like, so shit that they can't play. It's to tighten the tap a little bit, you know? There's still fucking water gushing out of it, but just not quite as fast. I want it slow. Death Guard get 1,500 points, everyone else gets 2,000. That is also something else I considered, but then you could go up against Imperial Knights, and then they are fucked, you know? More sludge, less water. Yeah. Yeah, when I'm, like, making these suggestions, like rule of 1, Knights are still going to be insane, you know? But they're just going to be, like, less insane. There's a slight, like, you know, less boiling, more simmering type vibe to them. What are the odds of 1,500 point Death Guard running into Knights? Well, it's fucking most of the tournaments, mate. Most of the tournaments, bud. 12 Hellrings and Cadence might even be more toxic, in all fairness. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if you put rule of 2 onto Death Guard, then they're not taking 3 units of Death Shroud. They're not taking 3 loads of Contagion with that. So they've got 2 hammer units, which is good, but it's only 2. You know, 2 is a lot easier to deal with than 3. They're also, I think if you put rule of 2 in, it also nullifies the bloat drone and the mythic blight haulers. I think rule of 2 is probably the way to go with them. They're forced to bring something else. They're essentially forced to waste points on things like Blade Burst Crawlers, which are also decent. Rule 288, just nerf the damn points. I can't control the points, Angron. I can't write the fucking new points for Death Guard. Because I just bang it up randomly. I can't do that. Hey, Mike, this could derail the conversation. You see Sug's latest video about GW Myths. Apparently, the Warhammer World Rhino really runs with made this promotional content for Dawn of War. I did know that, yeah. I think I've... Oh, I mean, you've not obviously not seen every stream. Dawn of War Rhino. Who's Dawn of War 2? There you go. And they repainted the Ultramarines. Well, this is the Rhino outside Warhammer World. Look at that beautiful bastard there. Look at him. What a beautiful bastard. Yeah! Run over that Peugeot! Yeah! And then they repainted it in fucking Ultramarines colours, the bastard. When was this? Yeah, it's all Dawn of War 2 promo. 10 years? Fucking 2009. Unk! Unk moment. Unk moment. It was the originally painted Blood Ravens. Is this the only hardware in history of ever Ultramarines stolen a tank from Blood Ravens? No, we just returned it, taking back what was rightfully ours. That's all that's happened. Now do it on a Tesla. Bring back the community data slate, Mikey. Everyone loved that. Yeah, I got shafted with that, didn't I? But I think I have to, really. I think I have to bring back the community data slate. Because how do you do without Games Workshop pulling the finger out and stop saying we hear you and actually do something about it? What are we supposed to do? We can't. We're either gonna have to outright ban the faction or neuter it somehow. And I think neutering is just limiting what they can bring. They repainted because Reliquary Red wasn't available at the time of purchase to touch up the scratches. Yeah, exactly that. That's why. It's like just colour forge in chat, bro. It's like colour forge, you know what I'm saying? It's particularly jarring because they've generally been pretty quick to react to broken stuff this edition. Yeah, it's like this one in particular. With Imperial Knights, I think there's enough rumours out there to realise why there's an issue, you know, which is obviously super fucking annoying, but the way they tried to deal with it was also fucking stupid. You know? But like with Death Guard, there is zero excuse. Death Guard has zero excuse to be left alone for this long. It is obnoxious. It is fucking obnoxious how long it's been now. And like I said, grass is greener. Grass is greener. Maybe I'm a card game player now. Let's be honest, they at least hear us. At least they know we exist, you know what I mean? So hot. So fucking warm today, chat. I might end stream. I'm so sweaty. I'm so mad and sweaty. Yeah, it's just so disappointing because it's like we said, they've been so quick to the mark with other things like Daka, with the original Eldar. They were pretty quick, but then they kind of waited for Ynnari for data that they had for months, and now they're waiting for Death Guard for the data they've had for fucking months. And it's like, there's no reason to it. I played an event in June. The beginning of June. And they were broken then. It's August now. And they're still broken. Maybe they're waiting for WTC to end. It's a fucking independent event. What's WTC got to do with it? You know what I mean? That's not a comment at you. If that's the case, what has fucking WTC got to do with it? Fuck all. It's an independent event. They tried to make their own World Team Championships, you know? Ugh, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Because it's just fucking... just sort the game out. I'm so fed up of it. You can't play tournaments right now and want to do well if you're not playing Death Guard or Knights. You know? If you're not playing those armies, what's the fucking point? WTC is team-based anyway, so shouldn't be used for singles balance. Well, that's also true. Can your Blood Ravens nick some Death Guard power armor? I have a Death Guard army. I just won't play them in a tournament. I could next week. I could this weekend. This weekend coming up, I'll finish my RPG video. I'll go play tournament with Death Guard and probably do quite well. Why? But I won't, because it's just boring. So yeah, we just got to fucking do it ourselves. What's he doing well, you speak of? You played the wrong army, clearly. Just grab Death Guard because the 6th of the players will win an event. Gen Con, was that a GW event? There was no tournament at Gen Con, no. They definitely said loads of staff there, which I thought was weird. But, yeah. Remember when angry about Thousand Suns? Yeah, Thousand Suns will be a problem if they don't hit them as well. Thousand Suns are playing a different game as well, definitely. But, you're right. Thousand Suns are playing a different game, but Death Guard and Imperial Knights are playing 40k 2. They're playing Space Marine 3 right now. I couldn't stand playing Death Guard because I couldn't stand to see the fed up face when I take them out. Yeah, literally. It's not fun to free win. And it's just like, it's not unheard of. It's every week there's a post like this. And every week there's a comment like this. And every week is like, why are they not doing anything? You know what I mean? I imagine Thousand Suns will get nerfed, or only them will get nerfed. Oh. It's so hot in here.
It's so hot in here that I'm just drying laundry.
Yeah, Georgie's hanging laundry in here now because it's so fucking warm. He's like, oh, dry in there quickly. Let's make it stuffy. I think we've got like a bit of a drama here as well. Because it says, just a note, Galag just carrying the stream tonight. Just a note, the CSM player who came third at Lone Star has dropped from the standings as he played all 6 games with an extra Hellbrute and a list at 2,130 points. Don't make me feel bad for bringing Knights to the end of the month. I'm not doing anything, Stephen. It's everybody, it's Games Workshop. They're fucking you. So I'm going to have to nerf you now. So I'm going to feel like a cunt to make your army worse, even though you're just coming to play for fun. Well, because Games Workshop won't sort their shit out and they just say, we hear you, there's an issue, I've got to be a cunt to everyone else now. You know? Ugh. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. They aren't fucking you, Mikey. After all, they hear you. It does make it look like the paranoid orc players were right. They do get treated unfairly. Yeah, like orcs keep getting fucking smashed, and then they go, yeah, Death Guard and Knights are fine. To be fair, the orcs were more broken, just less people playing them, but Death Guard definitely needs sorting along with the Imperial Knights and maybe little Fettling for Thousand Suns. Yeah, they just need to do it. They just need to fucking sort the shit out. There might be a statement from the guy who's cheated. Let's have a look. So it says that the CSM player was playing 130 points over. In his defense, I believe he caught himself. He wrote a big mea call from Facebook. No one on stream caught it. He declined to be featured on stream. He wanted to vote for his match on Tactical Tortoise. I know two of the guys who played against him, and one of them caught the error while reviewing on the way home, and the judges were notified, so I don't think the player caught and corrected it himself. On one hand, I think we're all guilty of screwing things up like this and accidentally having a model or something in our list that we actually didn't, but not at big events as big. I just don't think this happens very often in tournaments, you know what I mean? I don't think this happens at all in tournaments, really. How do you accidentally play more in your list? You wrote the list, you had to think about it. You can't blame a person for not noticing, really. You can't be expected to know everyone's list and points values. Equally, there's no excuse. You should be checking your list before you bring models, and you should have noticed something as part of an extra hell brew. Yeah, exactly. Who among us hasn't actually brought an extra predator? The BBC ringing. How do you bring it with you? Yeah, like, do you not pack your army? You don't bring every model you own to a tournament, do you? I've never seen one make this mistake. I've seen someone cheat, though. We had a player once when flamers were extremely broken. That he was running Thousand Suns with Zinch flamers, if you remember those. And he set up his army. Oh, he played his army, and in his list he had an Araman, and then posted on Instagram saying, having a great time at Hellstorm event, and it was Araman on disc, like the model, and it's when it's two different data sheets or whatever. And then there were Zinch flamers in his list, and he had 3 units of 3, and someone was like, I don't think he's using 9, I think he's using more. So waited till the next day, and I watched him deploy 15 flamers instead of 9. And this is when they were like really, really obnoxious. They were like 3-up invuns and just like insane Overwatch bait, if you remember when they used to be. Every Siege player or every Chaos player was running 15 of them, really. They were just always running 15, but he put 9 in his list because it was less points, and then put 15 on the board. And then I was like, I had to pull him into the room and be like, yo, tell me about your history, because someone said you cheated in another event. They're like, yeah, I'm on the grind. I'm getting it all back up. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be perfect. I'm trying to clean my game. It's all in my past. And I was like, it's all in your past. Why have you deployed 15 flamers and an Araman on disc when you haven't paid for one? And then changed in your past. When? From 5 minutes ago. It's so funny how cheaters like show their true nature when you call them out, you know what I mean? You go, yo, are you cheating? And they're like, nah, I've changed. Nah, I'm different now. I'm so chill. Hey, it looks like you're still cheating. Actually, Mikey, you're really, really showing abuse of power. You know, it's all gone to your head. No other TO would do this. It's like, no other TO would call you out, but you're being a cunt. You know? You've been a cunt, and I've let you set that up and do it again. And we will walk over together, and I'll show you that your list has 9 flamers, and your army has 15 on the board. Would you care to explain where the other 6 came from? Mikey, you're being woke, just let me cheat. Remember when TJ Lanigan had to wear a GoPro for 3 years before people trusted him again? Yeah, fucking now do people just do it for fun. People just do it for fun. And knowing hell that was an accident, like you don't look at points when making a list. I did it to the doubles event. Every single listing flight ever ran out of Ironclad Dreadnought. I was Iron Hands. I love them. My buddy was super competitive. Well, I'm mostly over the dice to be a top tier. I bring a one at last minute for list submission. I proceeded to deploy it in 2 games. Really, this is my second one. Cheater! Mate, this list always had 2 Glummins. What do you mean? Anyway, he's made a statement on Frontline Gaming. Where's it gone? I think this is the person. I can't apologize enough. I found out I cheated every single one of my opponents at Lone Star Open. I played the entire event with a Hellbrute that was not in my list, all 6 rounds. How do you manage that? How did you manage that? I'm not making any excuses. It's complete my fault. I'm so embarrassed that it kills me to know that both my opponents and all the other attendees were affected by a inability to put models on the table that match my list. It goes without question that I'm dropping from the event standings, and I submit myself to the scrutiny of both FLG and the community as a whole. I'm discussing with myself, and I understand if you feel the same way. I mean, that's a pretty fair one, you know what I mean? It's fucking dumb, but I'm not angry at his statement, you know what I mean? I found out that I cheated is a little bit loose, but it might just be out. I don't think that's malicious, you know what I mean? My local store, we call that the Vanguard tactic. Not guerrilla armings and flexing your muscles. You know? Not flexing your tits. And then going, oh, you can just have it, mate. You can just have it. You can just have it. The pro with a mission. More like the con man with an agenda. He hasn't tried to justify it. No, exactly. Exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm not mad at his statement. Fair play. Fair play, lad. Man, it's starting to get real fishy with that Junior and Carmona. I only show up to FLG events with multiple poor interactions with people I know from Team Zero comp players. To incredibly inept judging calls from FLG judges. To post like this, I don't think I would ever want to go to another FLG event. There's a bit of an overreaction. There might be a lot more history with this person than we realise, though. You jealous you've not been offered a partnership with Troll Trader yet? I've got a partnership with G Fuel, baby! Exclamation point G Fuel in chat. Use code Hellstorm at checkout. Bro, what are we talking about? I'm officially sponsored. I'm a Hellstorm G Fuel partner. Ambassador, I think they call it. Yo, look at that code Hellstorm. Let's go. Get your gamer fuel now, baby. You ever feel tired at a tournament? I would have noticed that I had an extra Hellbrute if I was wide awake after drinking a whole ass bottle of G Fuel. You know what I mean? I'm a I'm a G-fluencer. Fuck. How do you say it? What's a good way to say it, chat? And then you get people to turn up to your events, Mikey, with one less armature than they should have because they submitted an 1850-point list. That's true! That's true. Use code Hellstorm at checkout. If you're in the US, they have Gundam! Chat, they have Gundam in the US. I can't get it. I can't get it because I'm out in the UK. I'm pretty sure... I'm not going to say that. It's really bad. It's really bad, but you can get the Gundam flavor and the Gundam cup. If anyone in the US really wants to do me a favor and wants to get me the G Fuel Gundam thing, but use my code at checkout so I get a kickback as well, I will give you the money. I will give you the money. God damn it, it's crashed. It knows I'm trying to hack it. Next video, I was so wired on G Fuel I submitted a wrong list for a tournament. No! I was so wide awake I couldn't lose! I was so awake I couldn't lose. The last time I was... Do you remember when I was doing really well at tournaments? That's what was when I was drinking G Fuel. No word of a lie. You know... Do you want to hear a story? Okay. You want to hear a story? When I went to the World Championships, alright? I went to the World Championships. This is not even a joke, okay? And I took my G Fuel cup and I was going to take some G Fuel with me. Yes, I was thinking about smuggling powder on an airplane across the border. However, it's not even as exciting as it got confiscated. They like went into my... I'd be much funnier story. This is because I'm just not a liar. It'd be a much funnier story if I said, yeah, I tried to take G Fuel onto a plane, went through security and they found a tub of white powder and arrested me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That would be a really funny story. I kind of wish I'd lied now. But now I just fucking forgot it, didn't I? I just forgot it. But I took my cup, all right? So I had my cup with my G Fuel cup with me, and I didn't have I didn't have the powder because I'd forgot it, but I probably would have had it confiscated anyway. And then I was using it as a cup, right? And I was like really tired, so I bought a bottle of orange juice. But I didn't want to be carrying an extra bottle of orange juice when I've got this water bottle in my bag. So I drank my water and put the orange juice in my G Fuel cup, all right? And then I put the lid on, instinctively shook it, and then the lid cracked and broke. So I lost my G Fuel cup because the lid broke. Chat, the lid broke. I think it's... Is it here? Oh, it's downstairs. And then I did really bad at that tournament. I lost 6 games in a row, and I don't think these two stories are unrelated. I think it's because I didn't have my G Fuel with me. High quality shaker. It knew I'd run out of G Fuel. It knew. I think I must have cracked it, and then it just like I'd not noticed, and I shook it and got orange juice everywhere. Did security believe this story? It's not sugar. Chat, it's not sugar. It's sugar-free, bro. It's sugar-free energy drink. Guess you'll need a G Fuel brand. It's sugar-free powder that you mix with water. It's basically water. You can get Slayer Fuel, inspired by Doom. That sounds well nice. Strawberry pomegranate. Collector's box. Yo. That's sick. But yeah, it's not sugar. It's sugar-free. It's basically healthier than any other energy drink on the market. Do they have mango flavor? Bro, they have fucking any flavor you can think of. Not Doomslayer flavor that's mango. Do they have mango flavor? Let's have a look. They have peach ring candy. That's what I'm going to be ordering. Jelly bean, pineapple coconut, fruit punch, cherry pomegranate, gummy shark, strawberry, jelly bean. Oh, we've done that one. Cherry limeade, cherry vanilla, strawberry limeade, raspberry apple, peach raspberry, strawberry matcha, kiwi berry, cherry green, fruity black tea, strawberry guava coconut, rock candy. They got fucking... What do you want? All the G Fuel flavors sound like cheap vapes except for Lingnon berry. Who cares? I wouldn't recommend snorting it, but I can't say I haven't tried. I can't say I haven't tried. You want mango? Mango. Let's have a look what mango flavors they've got. Mango passion fruit. It's the fucking One Piece one. It's got fucking One Piece. It's literally real. They got Wumpa fruit flavor, which is mango, I think. Where's like the shop bit? Do they have papaya flavor? Yeah. Fuck. They did, because I saw it. They did. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, go and have a look. Use my link, exclamation point G Fuel in chat. They're just some really nice... I've had quite a few of these, to be fair. I've had the clickbait. That's nice. Fruit punch is really nice. I've got blue ice on the way. That was really good. Hype sauce is pretty nice. It's like strawberry lemonade. Yeah, they've got fucking loads, bro. Lingnon berry is my favourite, yeah. It's like drinking IKEA. So, that's the one I've got on the way. Is it better than Pepsi Max? Yeah. Pepsi Max is disgusting. No, Pepsi Max is just Yawn. Pepsi Max is yawn. You know what I mean? That's what you get when they don't have Coke. Oh, you don't have Coke? Yeah, Pepsi Max is okay. Drinking IKEA, LMFAO, explain. You ever been to IKEA? You had dinner there? You got a little lingonberry juice drink while you were there? With a little hot dog? Well, you can get that as a G Fuel flavour. They've got Sakuna's finger flavour. What do you mean it sounds like a vape? Shut up, you. George is shouting, gimme it. You've never had lingonberry from IKEA? Well, they sell Lignonberry. Tastes like IKEA. IKEA hot dog G Fuel flavor would be amazing. I want to try this one, Berry Medley, which is pretty nice. I just skipped past the Gundam ones. I can't get that one. I don't think I can get that in the UK. They've got Gundam flavor. I don't even like melon, but I want it. Free US shipping. Show me the description. This one doesn't say UK only, US only, but it has changed to dollars when I clicked on it. They've got Gunpla flavor. That's how you know I'm a real Gunpla fan. I've got Gunpla G Fuel. This is what you drink when you're building models, chat. Can't wait for the extra Hellbrute flavor. God. Apple mango. Someone asked for mango. Apple mango. Wumpa fruit. Crash Bandicoot. Wumpa fruit flavor. What was the other one? Papaya we're looking for. Rainbow sherbet was okay. It was okay. It's very sour. A bit. It was okay for a bit. It says try with milk. There's onions and waffle flavor. So sad Mikey died of Lignon. Yeah, I did. I did die of Lignon. A lot of these are out of stock now, though. Cherry lollipop. I'm sure I saw a papaya flavor. There might have been one with papaya in it, definitely. Was it that? Was it the Fallout one, George? Yeah. Papaya! It's got papaya in it! Yes! Papaya fruit powder! Papaya, we found you! There you are, dude. I knew it was in one of them. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Exclamation point G Fuel. I knew I'd seen it. I fucking knew I'd seen it. But yeah, no, it's basically pre-workout. It's basically pre-workout, but for gamers. So. Oh, chat, it's so fucking warm in here. It's so sweaty. I'm so gross. My essence, yeah. Oh, chat, we might have to skip Votan tonight. Because it's I'm so fucking tired after the weekend. The RPG has been very fun. And I'm really glad lots of people have enjoyed it. But there's been like a couple of complications with it. There's just like left me up shit creek where I'm just so tired. Because I'm trying to finish it. I'm trying to do episode 3. The bags under my eyes are insane. So I feel awful for skipping Votan. But I might have to skip it. So tired after winning at Gundam TCG. I'll let you know what my weekend was. Friday night, I was editing. Thursday, I was editing. Saturday, I went to play Gundam. Then I was editing until 3 in the morning. Then I played a tournament where my first opponent dropped out. I'm only here for Votan. You saw everything like a week ago, bro. Because it all fucking... it all fucking leaked. So it really put me off wanting to actually study it. Because I couldn't fucking access it anyway because I didn't have a fucking password. Are you going to do more after the last episode? RPG? Never say never.
Christmas one shot.
Christmas one shot, Georgie says. Never say never. initially, there's some ideas. There's some ideas, definitely. But, like, it's not going to be, like, next week. You know what I mean? Nice feature in the thumbnail, but I'm going to need some royalties. Mods ban Glarg from chat. I'll be on Wednesday morning. We'll crack it wide open. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll do that. Mason was supposed to come and film a Codex Corner with me anyway, and then bailed. That's really what happened. Oh? Okay. C7 have... Cubicle 7 have Horus Heresy RPG coming, just saying. I didn't know there was a Horus Heresy RPG coming out next year.
Oh.
Mercenary, I was only joking. Mercenary, don't unban him. Unban him. I was only joking, dude. Yeah, I had no idea that Cubicle 7 were doing a Horus Heresy RPG next year. That would be a crazy thing to do, right? You asked me the week before. Yeah, you think I've got any more fucking notice, Meg? I can't access the Forge Father detachment because they've not sent me the password yet. Everyone else talked about it 4 days ago. Play some Dark Carries together, 4K theming back on point. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll do something next year. Maybe that'd be fun. You know? It has been really fun. It's just been a lot. It was just like a lot of work. A lot of work. It's okay. My next viral Reddit comment will be about the unfair censorship on Hellstorm. Fine. I won't talk about it on this channel, though. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the RPG, so I'm really glad you guys have enjoyed it too. It's been doing pretty well. So if you have watched it, make sure you go leave a comment on the video. If you haven't watched it, leave a comment on the video anyway. That'd be really cool. I'd really appreciate it. The more comments and interactions we get with it, the better it's going to be.
And no one be mean, because I'm not going to come on screen because it's not hobby nice. And everyone be nice to me because I was bullied.
Georgie was bullied?
Yes. By mean boys.
Georgie was just telling us a backstory, that's all. It was fun. It was a good laugh. It was good fun. So if you haven't already, please go watch it. There are 2 episodes. They are only an hour and a half long. The final will be a little longer because it's unedited 2.5 hours. So it might be a little, it might be 2, we might hit 2 hours, you know? And no, actually, I think unedited is 3 hours. It might be, the last final episode might be 3 hours long. 2 hours long, sorry. But yeah, I'm going to go for now, chat. I'm really, really tired. I'm going to break down the Leagues of Votann Codex on Wednesday, along with some other fun stuff that I've been sitting on for a little while. Apologies for not talking about Votann, purely because we just talked about other stuff for a little bit longer than I was expecting. And it's fucking grim in here, and I'm fucking shattered. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you. I'm going to go. Thank you. Is there anything else I want to say? Use code Hellstorm at checkout. I'm going to go. Love you all. Bye. See you Wednesday. See you Wednesday morning. See you Wednesday morning. Appreciate you. Bye. Love you. Bye. Bye.